Planet Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, and if you think that means it's always burning hot, you'd be wrong. At night on Mercury, temperatures drop low enough to freeze your bones, reaching as cold as minus 180 degrees Celsius. But during the day, the heat becomes insane, rising all the way to 430 degrees Celsius. So, what causes this massive difference between day and night? Mercury has almost no real atmosphere except for a very thin outer layer. Without an atmosphere, heat escapes the planet instantly. It can't hold it, and it can't spread it around. There are no winds, no clouds, no rain, and no storms. On top of that, Mercury is blasted by deadly solar radiation, 5,000 times stronger than what Earth receives. If you landed on Mercury during the day, the heat would burn your skin within seconds. The solar radiation would destroy your cells and your eyes. You could go blind instantly. Your body fluids would start boiling from the inside because there's no atmospheric pressure. You wouldn't be able to take a single breath because there's no air and no oxygen. Within 15 seconds, you'd be dead, burned, blinded, suffocating, and boiling from the inside. If you landed at night, your tissues would freeze instantly from the extreme cold. Ice crystals would form inside your cells, killing them immediately. And with no oxygen, you'd suffocate as well. Within a minute, or even less, you'd die frozen and unable to breathe. And here's a good piece of news. In a dark, ironic way, Mercury's surface is covered with craters, steep cliffs, and rough terrain. There's no atmosphere to slow down your spacecraft while landing, which means the chance of crashing into the surface is extremely high. You'd die instantly on impact, which honestly might be the most merciful option compared to all the horrible ways mentioned before. Planet Venus is the closest planet to Earth. At their nearest point, the distance between them is only about 38 million kilometers, roughly a 4-month space journey. And since Venus is almost the same size as Earth, it's often called Earth's twin. But in reality, it's the evil twin. That's because its atmosphere is 90 times thicker than Earth's, with atmospheric pressure 92 times stronger than what we experience here. The same as standing 1 kilometer underwater. And about 96% of that atmosphere is made of carbon dioxide, which traps the sun's heat inside the planet and creates an extreme greenhouse effect. For this reason, even though Venus is farther from the sun than Mercury, it is actually the hottest planet in the entire solar system, with temperatures reaching 470 degrees Celsius. And unlike Mercury, which can't hold or distribute heat, Venus's thick atmosphere spreads heat evenly across the entire planet, turning its entire surface into a true hellscape from every direction. If you tried landing on Venus, you'd descend into thick yellow clouds of sulfur dioxide produced by intense volcanic activity. Visibility would drop to almost zero because of how dense the atmosphere is. Even the best spacesuits ever designed wouldn't survive there. The pressure and heat would destroy them within seconds. And once they fail, you'd inhale the toxic gases and die instantly, while the crushing pressure would squeeze your body from all sides. Just like objects are crushed in the deepest parts of the ocean. Planet Mars. Mars is the first destination you might consider after Earth. During the day, near the equator in summer, temperatures can reach 20 degrees Celsius. But at night, they drop to minus 120 degrees Celsius, far colder than the lowest temperature ever recorded on Earth at the Vostok station in Antarctica, which was minus 89.2 degrees Celsius. Spacesuits can withstand temperatures down to minus 150 degrees Celsius. But the real problem is Mars's thin atmosphere, which is mostly carbon dioxide and contains too little oxygen to breathe. This thin atmosphere also offers almost no protection from harmful solar radiation. Mars is exposed to about 30 times more radiation than Earth. If you were to remove your suit on the Martian surface, you would suffocate instantly. Your body fluids would start boiling due to low pressure, causing extreme pain. Within about a minute and a half, you'd lose consciousness, and within 2 minutes at most, you'd be dead. However, if a safe habitat were available with proper oxygen and pressure, and you could utilize solar energy in the ice water found on Mars, it would theoretically be possible to live there for many years. The gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, with a magnetic field 20,000 times stronger than Earth's. The radiation surrounding it is lethal within minutes. Even if you had a supersuit, its winds reaching 480 kilometers per hour, its dense clouds and its immense pressure would crush you. And there's no solid ground to land on. Saturn. Its beautiful rings are made of rocks and ice, some as large as mountains, making passage nearly impossible. Even if you avoid the rings, you would face storms and winds reaching 1,800 kilometers per hour, deadly temperatures and crushing pressure that would tear you apart into atoms. Uranus and Neptune. These are ice giants with toxic atmospheres and temperatures dropping to minus 220 degrees Celsius. Winds on Neptune reach 2,000 kilometers per hour. With increasing pressure, carbon breaks down and forms diamond rain. But don't get excited, you won't survive to enjoy it. Pluto is located about 6 billion kilometers from the Sun. It was considered the 9th planet until 2006, when it was reclassified as a dwarf planet. Despite people's fondness for it, Pluto is an extremely harsh world. Temperatures drop to minus 230 degrees Celsius, and it has almost no atmosphere. This means your blood would boil and freeze at the same time, and survival is impossible. You wouldn't last more than 5 seconds. If you were asked to choose one planet to live on for the rest of your life, which death sentence would you choose yourself?